Hey there, and welcome to yet another guide video. I've wanted to do a Geo guide for a while now, but as you all know, with all the versions coming out, it's a bit difficult to actually find the time for it. I mean, Age is done, I is already out and being played right now, and it's already in testing for J version, so even though I'm making a guide now, it might not be as good or viable in a few weeks, depending on how MKC goes with J version, even though I feel like the version I and J are very close apart in terms of balance and how you play the towns. Which is, by the way, the main reason why I'm making this, because I don't think a lot will change in terms of tempo for the towns. I mean, yes, you don't have control on like week 1, but you'll still most likely be able to get that control on week 2, let's say, so it's gonna be just a few slight differences there in tempo. And yeah, other than that, I'm not gonna play a real game right now because I want to actually go through everything that I do and trade properly, and it's gonna be a very comprehensive guide, and I don't have the time to do that in a custom proper game because yeah, you play on 1 minute timer and you never have the time to actually say what you're doing. So to get started, first of all, you get into the game. It's Horn of the Abyss expansion. You can buy it. You can buy the game, then install the expansion. The expansion is free. You have this online lobby here. This is how you would normally go into a game against another player. And when you go into the game, you go to new game, you make your lobby. You're just gonna type JO, then you're gonna type the rating, like 400 plus, let's say, depending on your rating range. You usually play around 100 lower or higher than you. And yeah, other than that, you just type whatever version the template is and so on. It's the same for every template. Some people play it like place the timer there as well, like you can see for the Sutherland guy. Then on like 1 to 5 is when sim turns end. You can put these into the game description, but they don't matter too much, especially for higher rating. But yeah, this is how you normally go into a game. As I said, I'm not gonna do that right now because I feel like I wouldn't have the time to actually explain anything if I go into a real game. Therefore, I will just play a game against the AI and explain everything that I'm doing meanwhile. Now, when you go to a game, this is the same as creating a lobby, by the way. You go to random map, you basically choose from the template version that you want. Most likely you're gonna play I version as of this moment at least. Since J version is not out yet, it's just in testing. Then it's XL with Subterranean. This is pretty much default for the template anyway, you don't even have to change it. For a free-for-all, you usually play on Age version because it needs the space for 8 people. Then yeah, 2-0 fast roads here need to be checked only, non-strong. This is pretty standard as well. And you're going to show advanced options. What this does is it gives you the option to actually go to where the trade begins. Now, problem is against the AI, you don't actually have a trade. If you go to more options, you only have tournament rules here. So for this part, I will actually start a game into the normal lobby. And yeah. Basically, when you go to random map, as I said, it's the same exact thing, but when you go to show advanced options, you're gonna see a PvP option here. And the PvP option, what it does, it allows you to first of all choose a random town. This is for mirror templates only though. Or you can choose a random versus random town, which is what we'll do right now. Fortress Cove, for instance, and this is the trade that happens into the game. So basically what this happens, when this happens, you have to choose one of the 2 towns being traded. You usually have the option to either reroll the town trade once for free. For instance, in my lobbies I always have a 1 free reroll. I tell that to everyone that plays against me as well. And most people use a 500 gold reroll. What that means is that you're gonna pay your opponent 500 gold for that reroll. And let's say you say minus Fortress, this is how you usually do it. Then you go for random versus random after clicking this icon. This basically removes Fortress from the next generation. Therefore, you're gonna random versus random. If this happens, by the way, just reroll it. You want 2 different towns, especially in GO. So you're gonna get Inferno Necro. And basically at this point the opponent doesn't have a reroll anymore, so you're basically choosing to either plus, or you can minus Inferno yourself or minus Necro. if you want to, and then reroll again. However, I'm not gonna do that anymore, and I'm gonna go straight into the trade. In terms of trade, I'm sure you guys, some of you guys at least, saw that I made the tier list video. I definitely suggest you watch that for trade options, and basically anything that's S tier to like B tier, so S tier, A tier and B tier, is only gonna be around 3 or 4,000 gold apart. Sometimes maybe 5k or 5.5k, it's not really worth more than that, however. It's super expensive. So let's say you're gonna have a pair like Inferno Necro. Necro basically right now is like highest A tier or maybe even S tier, while Inferno is probably bottom C tier or so. Therefore this is actually a pretty big trade. I would say it's probably 5 or 6k for Necro in this case most of the time. But yeah, basically the way you're gonna trade is, let's say between S tier and S tier towns. So let's say Conflux Cove, right? You're probably gonna trade around 2k, 3k maybe for Conflux. Some people prefer to even get Cove in this scenario, including me. I think Cove might be better in certain cases, especially against who you play. There are some people that don't prefer to play Conflux, so you know, Cove might be better for them. Then you have like Tower as well, you have Dungeon obviously that are S tier, so these towns here right now are probably apart by like 2 or 3k gold, I would say, most of them. And that's basically the trade, depending on your preference what you want to play anyway. Afterwards you probably have Castle and Necro. As I said, Necro might even be S tier with these towns here. Same for Castle in some cases. Some people prefer Castle over most other towns, even though I don't think it's as strong or good right now by any means, so it's kind of whatever. But yeah, when it goes to like Castle and Necro, trades already go to like 4k, let's say for a Conflux or a Cove right now, so you know, it goes higher and higher. And if you have towns that are basically C tier, D tier, like Rampart's probably the worst, Inferno and Stronghold are probably like C tier, then Fortress somewhere in between Rampart and the others, I would say. Those towns can go to up to like 6k even to basically play, I don't know, Conflux versus Inferno right now, for instance. You're probably gonna pay around 6-7k for Conflux for sure. But then again, it depends a lot on the players. A lot of people actually prefer not to pay a lot in trades anymore, because gold early on matters greatly for Magic University. If you already go past 5k gold, it's not good for the trade. You're basically losing the trade no matter what you're playing, because that means that your opponent is going to have a very easy time getting Schools of Magic while you won't. And you have to go for the gold mine, you have to like lower your tempo early on by a lot doing this. Therefore, that's pretty much how the trade works. You're just gonna be basically saying, okay, Inferno Necro, you're plussing, that means you're accepting the trade. Then you're gonna say 2k, you're bidding for Necro here, your opponent says 3k, and so on, right? You're gonna go like 3.5k, then opponent says pass, let's say. Could go higher, could go lower, depends on the players again. Then you basically pick Necro, then you're gonna bid for color, you're gonna be 200 color, most people don't even type anything, there's 200, then opponent passes, and then you get to choose what color you want. A lot of people prefer red right now. I think that they're very close apart. I actually don't bid more than like 300 or 400 for color, and I usually let my opponent pick, because I don't mind playing either of the colors, and I feel they're super close together. So basically that way you're getting paid some gold to play whatever you want anyway, and yeah, it's pretty good. But that's pretty much all for the trade. To change color, by the way, a lot of people don't know this. I didn't know this at the beginning either, and it took me forever to figure it out. You just click on the flag, then it becomes AI, and then you click on the other flag that you want as the room owner only. You cannot do this if you're joining someone else's room. They can only do it. And then the opponent basically is gonna be red instead of you. So yeah, that's how you change your color. This is how you trade. I hope the tier list video obviously helps a lot with trades as well, and I kind of try to explain it a lot. And at the end, what you're doing, you're gonna calculate all the gold. So right now it's 3.5k for me, then 200 opponent pass, so it's 3.7k. You go to gold transfer, you know, you pick blue, you give 3.7k to your opponent, then you minus 3.7k for yourself. And now the trade is complete, then you can start the game. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. And as I said, You must have at least 2 players. It doesn't work to start the game here, but I will go to a normal game right now. And what I'm going to do basically is I will lower the timer here to classic, so I get unlimited timer. This is not going to be exactly JO like, obviously, but I will try to explain my very best what I'm going to do. And I guess I'll just play Castle. It's the first version. I actually wanted to make a guide for every single town here, but I feel like it's going to take me way too long in terms of time management, and I might not get all of these guides up before J version is already out. In which case I think I will just do the Castle guide now and like a comprehensive guide on how to play JO in general. And then when JO comes out, when J version comes out, I will probably do a guide on every single town at the beginning of the version, because I feel like it's gonna be a lot better, since J version will most likely come out in like 2 or 3 weeks anyway, so there's not a lot of time to play this version anymore. Now, most of the people play with Caitlyn. Caitlyn has intelligence, she's very good as Castle, right? You can play still Catherine, you can play Adelaide. Some people prefer Adelaide over Caitlyn because she doesn't have intelligence, so she gets Schools of Magic earlier, and so on. But yeah, I'm gonna go Caitlyn. This is my preferred pick. I always play her lately, so you're most likely gonna pick resources, and I'm actually gonna do something that's probably decent to do, which is I'm gonna buy a hero just for the sake of having lower gold at the beginning. By the way, you're gonna play on 160% difficulty. That's standard as well. And yeah, the reason why I want to buy a hero right now, by the way, this is against the rules, so don't do it in a proper game, but I'm going to buy a hero and just delete this hero just to have like lower gold to start with. Which, by the way, makes no sense. Oh, right. I had the gold previously from... if you have gold trades from the online lobby, it gives you the trades into the AI lobby as well. So what I'm gonna do is buy like 2 more heroes, so I have lower gold here. Because I started with almost 14k instead of 10k, so... yeah, there we go. Now I have very low gold. In terms of trade, I was actually fighting a Conflux, so this is when you would probably get paid, but I want to showcase this with lower gold, not necessarily getting paid, because that's a lot easier to play. Therefore, you're gonna buy the army, probably you're gonna upgrade the archers as Castle every time here, and in the second town you're most likely gonna go Town Hall. Then the main problem right now, at least in my games, is actually finding the road to the bunker. I tend to have these god roads that go like down and left or right, which never actually ends up in the bunker, so I don't know exactly where I'm going. And the way I'm gonna play this is basically just whack-a-mole to find the road here, and I actually managed to. It's basically 50-50 whether you're gonna go up like this or whether it goes down like this, so you just have to get lucky to find it, but... yeah, that's pretty much it to it right now. You just collect XP, you collect a lot of things, and the fact that I actually got Earth Magic here helps a lot, by the way, because that means I don't have to buy the Magic University anymore. So I'm just gonna pick up this treasure chest and probably the Lizard Warriors, and having a helmet early on is really good. In this case, I would most likely keep this map. I'm already seeing a ton of things that I can do early. A very good shield, a very good glove. Obviously an amazing helmet to have early on this template as well, so yeah, this would definitely be a keep from me. Basically the way you play is you have a 1-1-1, meaning that you can only reset the template once on day 1 of week 1 of month 1, and so does your opponent. Both of you have a day 1. So I'm keeping the map. Let's say opponent keeps the map as well. It's very likely that they will reset since they're blue and red keeps, but oh well. At this point, I have everything that I need early on. I have Earth Magic, so I don't have to buy the University. I'm gonna split some 1-stacks for this fight. Actually, I'm gonna split some Griffin 1-stacks for this fight, so they can block the lizards earlier. And technically, at this point, I would probably just like Q-enter most of these fights, because you're not gonna do them much better than the AI does, so... But yeah, you're gonna block the lizards, you're gonna push the pikemen forward so they get attacked, and it's a lot easier for you afterwards. Alright, not bad. Much better than AI. You pick the helmet, and as Castle you always want a sawmill. Castle is the most heavily invested town in terms of getting a sawmill, and I think this is actually better. So you definitely want to pick that up, especially if you have one on the road. It might give you like a day lower tempo, but it's always worth it. It's literally always worth it. So yeah. Afterwards, you have more roadblocks. This is a bit unfortunate. You want to have a road that's super clean in terms of roadblocks towards your bunker, so you don't really waste a lot of time here, but sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. It's super RNG, so... I managed to get Expert Wisdom and Advanced Earth right now, which again is really good, because that means I don't have to buy the Magic University right away. What this means is I don't have to spend 5k gold right away. And since I'm already here and I know that I have Earth Magic, I'm actually gonna pick up this town. It's really good to pick up the towns later on for marketplaces, especially if you have a sawmill. Especially if it's easy towns like this, so there's no reason not to really. And yeah, just do the fight again, block your archers. Try not to lose too much and you're gonna be okay. No losses there. I also tend to pick up resources as well as castle, because I think that the main way to play the game and to actually win the game right now is probably to build into Archangels very early on. And to do that, it's obviously very good to have these resources already. This means that I'm only needing Mercury almost on day 4 to actually build the Archangels. So yeah, it's pretty good. You get one stockpile, you're basically set at this point already, which is quite amazing. Then you're gonna go into Swordsman right away. I prefer to double build, especially if I get a sawmill, as I said. And in case I didn't get Earth Magic right now, I would go for the Ore Pit right away, because I know I need ore to build a Magic University. That's where the fact that I have Earth Magic comes in place right now. So yeah, I'm gonna pick up the spell box. I'm gonna pick up some more knowledge on the way. Then control scrolls are pretty good too. And by the way, to see this, as you can see on the bottom of my screen right now, I have Wacos for Caitlyn. To see this, you just click Alt and you hover over the road or wherever you want to go. And it's going to tell you exactly how many moves you use. Then you can go to movement points. You're going to see how many you have. Or you can literally see how many movement points will remain after the move that you want to do. On the bottom there with Alt as well. And seeing that I have 546 and this takes me already over 300, that means that I cannot pick up the 2 scrolls if I pick up the School of Magic here. So I'm going to skip it right now, pick up the scrolls instead, and then pick up the town and sit inside. And what you'll notice is that I literally have exactly 17 movement left, which is amazing. That's a perfect movement management there. In this case, normally I would probably build a Mage Guild here. This is usually the Conflux town, but since I am fighting a Conflux player, the Conflux town is not here. It's going to be right here right now. And yeah, what that means basically is that I will not do it right now. Instead, I'm going to build the stables and yeah, just enter. Normally I would go for the gold mine, but in this particular case, the gold mine is horribly placed. You don't really want to spend an entire day just to get that gold mine, because it's a lot of wasted movement. But I do know that I need an ore pit, so what I'm going to do is this. Again, movement management, you need 300 moves to town portal out. Then I'm gonna get the magic well and go to Dunwall. And the Dunwall, I'm gonna make a mage guild, so I regen mana. It's very important to regen mana. And yeah, I'm gonna chill here for now. Then my next step is probably gonna be to go straight into the gloves. It's gonna give me a lot of movement early on. That's basically stacking up the more you play, so it's pretty good. And I know that I need the Conflux town. So instead, since this might be a somewhat difficult fight that will kill a lot of troops, I'm gonna actually go towards the Conflux town right now. And again, I pick up all the resources on the way. It's a bit awkward that I have a weird road here, but that's okay. And yeah, this turn I won't be doing too much, but I'm going to pick up a town next turn with army, and then it's gonna be a lot easier to play the game basically. Like, you don't have to rush every single day into hard fights while you might lose a lot of your troops doing so, because then you're basically gonna have even lower tempo than usually. And that's not good. That's not really doing anything for you. So yeah, I cannot DD anymore this turn, but hopefully the town is right here. It should be right there, and I can probably DD straight into it. No, I will actually go for the monks as well. This is not too bad to have, by the way. What this means is basically that I was missing some crystals. Now I'm gonna have a mine that's gonna be very helpful in terms of actually building angels this week. And as I said, angels basically give you a free win pretty much in most games right now, so it's definitely good to have. Now you can kind of check where the town is by doing this, by the way. So I think that the town is probably gonna be right here. And it was. Sadly it's defended, so I don't think I'll be able to make it inside. Now I will pick up Diplo, just because I know that I am going to buy air magic, and I managed to get inside as well, so I can regen mana, which is nice. That's amazing. I also see a box that I can do right away. That's also very good. Basically in most games you want to see something that you can get started on as soon as possible. And the way that I'm going to play this game, by the way, is probably around week 3. When basically I'm going to break either desert or probably go straight into a side zone, and from there play the game as you want. I mean, it's without an opponent, so I would not know what my opponent is doing, and in that case it doesn't matter too much anyway. But yeah, you just grab all the army, upgrade all the archers. Now I would like to pick up the monks as well, but only 2 of them are not going to make a huge difference, so I'm actually going to just pick up some swordsmen. And I'm just going to go back to Lanting, where I know that I have the satire box. And go straight into it, because this could be archers or pikemen, I guess. But it's basically an amazing thing to get started on either way. Therefore, do it right away. And yeah, got some pikemen now, which is really nice. Now I'm basically looking for other things to do. I have a decent amount of mana still. However, this fight is not really good. It's gonna kill a lot of marksmen. The Pegasi are very quick. They're like speed 13 on this terrain, so it's not amazing. But I do find a stockpile that's actually doable. 10 to 19, that means it's only 4 Cyclops each. So I'm gonna do this right away, just because I know that I need resources for the upgrade. Not the upgrade, for the build for the Archangels here. So, do this right away. It will be quite a lot of losses. It's not amazing, but I have Expert Stone Skin, so, you know, makes it a little bit easier at least. I did misplace my pikemen horribly bad here, which will probably end up losing me quite a bit of army, however. Gladly de Morale. Actually, right now I'm gonna use a teleport here. It's probably best I can cast. And yeah, I lost a marksman, I lost a little bit of army there, but it's okay. Basically what this means is that I'm almost guaranteed to get the upgrade for the swordsman this week. The building for the angels is what I'm trying to say. Alright, I have some monks now, I have some pikemen, and I'm gonna go straight into the flies. Actually, I will do the monastery as well on the way, I guess. Do I outspeed them? Yeah, I do. So I can teleport some pikemen once stacks in for first. Actually, I'll just teleport this. Yeah, pretty decent. 7 only, that's okay. That gets me to 9 monks already, by the way, which is a pretty relevant power stack already. And as I said, against flyer especially, you want to block your troops in, then... try to kill them as easily as possible with no losses. 9 only is good. I will pick up the Griffin since I'm not doing too well in terms of army. And I will check this as well, it's quite big. Do I want to lose more army for a Medusa store? I have a lot of sulfur, so I don't care too much. And if this is 8, it could be difficult, honestly. They're gonna kill a lot of army again. So I'm actually gonna skip this and go straight into the Naga Queens. At this point, I would probably want to build more taverns, more marketplaces as well. They're super important, so yeah, keep that in mind as well. I will do this. I know that I need Mercury as well, and this being pretty big is actually decent. I'm gonna give them a 1 stack there, so they basically don't come forward right away. And other than this, the fight should be rather easy. I only lost 1 Griffin, which is fine anyway. Then this is probably like one of the hardest fights that I'll have to do this game, because once I get this box, then I can get started and just farm every single thing in the biome. Also, my goal for the biome itself is gonna be to basically break before week 3. Or well, not before week 3, before week 4, sorry. Week 3 is a little bit early. But yeah, even Otto does this fight super easy, I guess, so I don't have to worry about it too much. I'm actually gonna Frost Ring here, 2 of them, because I feel like the monks can do a lot of damage. Ooh, that morale was a bit unfortunate. I didn't kill one. Alright, fair bit better than the AI. I get expert Diplo. And at this point I need to actually build the university here. I have enough gold now, which is amazing. Then I get a monk box from the Nagas. That is also huge. Find another box on the Harpy Hags, so go into it right away. Alright. I'm basically looking for movement now to see if I can do anything else, and I think the best bet is to probably use my DD to grab another monastery right now. It's pretty good to grab the monastery, especially if you go into angels, because you know every time that you're gonna get some monks while doing it as well, and you're gonna double build it as well, so it's actually not a bad thing at all. Now, the way I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna back to Lanting. Actually, buy the university now, and when I have mana next turn, I will straight up go with air magic. It's a fairly later magic. I was actually unlucky not rolling into it, honestly, especially because I got earth so early, but I think it's gonna be okay. And at this point, I know that I have another 3 or 4 days before I would normally want to already break around 131 or 132. You want to break, especially at higher rating games. So what I'm looking to do right now is basically, where do I get started? I know that I have a Hydra box here. I know that I have a good Efredi box there, which actually has another monastery into an observatory. That's gonna get me vision of this entire side. But I also know that I want to do stockpiles, and I want to do things that give me money for resources. So actually the Naga Bank here looks very, very good right now. But I feel like that's gonna be probably on day 7, therefore I bought Air Magic. I can just go away to Dunwall, and I think my first intention right now is gonna be to actually go into the Efreris. The reason for that is that I can go for the observatory afterwards. That's gonna get me a lot of vision over the map. So yeah, go straight into the Efreris. This was pretty bad because I didn't make 1 stacks, but I have an idea for it anyway, so it should be okay. Yeah, just hit there. Using teleport like this is amazing for your archers. Keep that in mind as a possible option always. This is very painful. This could be 8 Cyclops, which is gonna kill everything, so I'm actually not gonna do it. Saved 1 Griffin there, and then I can get this. And with this, I actually see a ton of things right now that I can do on the next day. This is an amazing spot to actually find. The Troll Box is good. The 2 more monasteries are good as well, obviously. So yeah, go here, make fast, and pretty much set right now. Again, the main purpose here is gonna be to break before week 3. All the fights are fairly easy at this point. You don't have to worry about them too much, but you're basically just gonna collect as many boxes on week 2. That's pretty much how the game is played every single time. Make some 1 stacks for this fight, so yeah. And I'm really hoping that I'm going to get Expert Air Magic right now, because I need a double DD to be even more efficient, so do this fight very quickly. Didn't get it, sadly, so at this point I think I might pick up some defense just because I have 0. And I think the best bet that I have is to actually go for this fight right now. Not bad. The reason for this is that I actually want to get the Angels this week, as I said, so getting this right now is really, really strong. Take the Retail, get Expert Air as well, which is nice. Then that means that I can do 2 more of these boxes this turn before I have to go away and regen. So yeah, pretty standard things. Just block yourself in, then I'm actually gonna give up the Griffins here because I don't think they're going to do too much in terms of actually helping out, so pretty easy fight. Another Monk box, absolutely amazing. And I'm trying to figure out 500, so 200 to teleport, 100 to take the box, then 200 to port away, right? I have Expert, that's perfect. And this teaches me Berserk as well. Perfect. At this point, just accept. You would most likely accept a lot of these fights without doing them, especially in a template like this, because you want to have as much timer as possible. Now, what I'm going to do this turn is basically just collect as much resources as I possibly can. And the way to do that is that I have 2 Naga banks. So that's exactly what I will do. And yeah, before that I have to upgrade the archers as well, and then straight into the Naga bank I go. I'm not gonna do the Dread Knight fights. They're not really that difficult, but it takes a lot of timer, and timer is important in this template, so. Problem is, this is going to hit one of these 2 units, and I can only kill 1. I'm actually just gonna clone here. Sadly, that was a minimum. You definitely want to see better sizes for your Naga banks here. And since I am here, I can also grab the Hydra box. And I see the actual second Pog as well. So, what I need right now is my Naga bank here to be at least 4, I guess, a size 3. If that's going to be the case, then I can basically build the angels and potentially get the second Pogon this week. And this is a maxi. Okay, this is exactly what I needed. Perfect. Trying to put them all on the right side because I know that there is a an upstack here, so this makes things slightly more difficult. And I'm actually gonna give up the pikeman for the upgraded stack. Interesting that it went for the griffins here. I already know what to do, so I'm going to execute it right now. The way this is going to work is I'm going to force field here, so the Nagas don't reach one of my two archers. Then I'm just going to kill this Naga off. Oof. It's a fairly expensive fight, but executed pretty well. I didn't lose a single archer, which was what mattered anyway. I get 12k gold, so now I can build the Portal of Glory on week 2, which is an amazing timing. And I still have another DD, so I can go straight for the Storm Elementals and grab the Angels as well. And yeah, at this point I'm pretty much set for the entire game, honestly, so... just shield, Q-enter, and since I don't have moves, I want to regen mana, I will actually go way back to Dunwall, make fast. I'm skipping one angel this week, but overall it's a pretty amazing week. We got army, we got angels built, which are gonna secure your win most likely in most games here as castles, so yeah. Really good biome overall. I mean, this biome was not bad by any means. I even had Lion Shield that I missed this entire time, so... yeah, that's another monk box, and pretty good, pretty good. I mean, that was 3 monk boxes and now there's a 4th there, so... generally, at this point, I would say I'm already ready to either go into a taupe or break. I mean, almost 100 monks here is more than enough to do either. So, yeah, I'm probably just gonna break into desert or maybe take another day. I mean, at this point, as I said, I could just go straight break, but I feel like it doesn't matter too much, therefore... go to Black Quarter. What I'm going to do with this is I will get this treasury. Rolling into scouting is amazing, therefore I already have a perfect skill tree as well. I just need to buy water magic, but I can do that at any point. And yeah, grab the Gorgon box, basically no losses, grab the Lion Shield, then go for this. Another big Naga bank, okay, really, really good. Having clone early on is amazing, by the way. And yeah, no losses for the other Naga bank either. I still have a DD as well, so I can grab this box and I can grab the Pegasi box at the same time. Another monk box is absolutely insane. This is a high roll biome, by the way. I almost never get this many monks, but you usually can expect at least 2 boxes, I would say, per biome. I mean, 4 boxes was quite nice, honestly. And yeah, I'm regening mana, I have a lot of gold, I have a ton of gems I can basically build into Archangels. I can choose to double build as well, which I most likely do on week 3. And yeah, next day I think I will just go break. You could also do the Utopias now, but my Utopia is fairly badly placed, so I'm not gonna care too much about it. I would definitely also recommend to upgrade the monks at this point because there are so many, so yeah. I'm trying to figure out if it's closer to go from here or from here. It's most likely closer from here, but... at this point you check your where your opponent is. I can see that he has 4 towns. He obviously has 2 heroes as well because it's the AI, but whatever. And honestly, I would most likely go straight middle in most games, but because I want to actually showcase a proper break here, I'm gonna go like this. And by the way, since you already have control, you can literally break through anything. So I see unicorns here. That's actually a decent break for me already. I can cheese it really well with force fields. Therefore, that's exactly what I will do. And yeah, you cannot DD into the desert without breaking. So keep that in mind. You always have to do this first. And at this point, need one here, one here, one here. And then I'm just going to force field. That means that only one unicorn can hit me at a time here, most likely. So that's good. That is very, very good. This one waited, so if I don't take the hit, it's whatever, but still. Pretty much lossless break. And at this point I can either go straight into the middle, or I can choose to just go here, go down, pick up this town, go into a side biome. I don't exactly know what the side biomes are, but it doesn't matter too much. And as you can see, it's 132. This is a standard timing, I would say, for this game right now, for the template at least. So yeah, really good biome, really good gameplay, I guess, as well for it. So you have a lot of angels, you have even more because you can pick up the dwellings. That's another 3, that's another 1 here if you build it. That's basically 9 archangels on week 3. Then you might be able to find some Diplos as well, and so on. So yeah, you'd do whatever you want at this point. You can either go middle, as I said, you can go towards that was not ideal, honestly. Yeah. Oh well, nobody saw that. But yeah, from now on, as I said, the opportunities you have depends a lot on your opponent. You know, your opponent could be in middle already, therefore you skip it. Your opponent could go to a side biome, therefore you just get the other one. You could go desert if your opponent goes to side biome, and so on. I'm not gonna bother playing more on this map. Pretty much, I just wanted to showcase how you would play until week 3, what you'd do, what you'd think of. Basically, week 1, you get the full control, you go to the bunker. You're trying to get as many stats, as many resources as possible to build, maybe to get the Magic University as well early on if you don't play against the Conflux. That's really good as well. Then on week 2, as I said, you just pick up every single box that you see. I skipped some, obviously, because I didn't have enough moves there, but yeah. And on week 2, you should also try to focus on getting as many stats. Like the Lion Shield here was pretty amazing to have in a biome. And that's pretty much it. Week 1, get control, get stats. Week 2, get army. Week 3, break. That's basically what most people do in JOI right now. And I think that's probably going to be exactly what you should be focusing on and practicing. Also, you can practice like this, like I did almost every time as well. It doesn't matter too much, right? So pretty decent overall. And there's actually even more monks. No, crusaders. Okay. So yeah, not like the craziest biome in the world, but for monk boxes was pretty decent, honestly. Definitely above average. And that's basically it. I hope it helped you a lot. Let me know if I missed anything as well. I tried to explain as much as I could about what you would do in the game, about how to play the game as well. I do think that for Castle, for instance, the main way to win every single late game is to actually go for Angels and then Archangels on week 3. There are some people that prefer Cavs early on. If you have all the Cav dwellings on the road right next to your town, or for instance, you know, if this was here, I might have considered it, but the placement was bad. And there are some people that skip building anything, they just go for every single box, in which case I would have had slightly higher tempo, maybe by 1 or 2 days, but honestly, I feel like if you go for that and you cannot kill your opponent before month 1, you lose every single time. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you want to be like super high tempo, you go for boxes. If not, you go for angels, you go for calves. That will most likely secure your late game. So that's pretty much all. I hope it helped you out. And as I said, there will be probably more guides coming up in the future. I don't know if I'll make another guide for I version. I might make a guide for the test versions of J, maybe. Especially if it's like a definite version of J in the test versions already, so we'll see how that goes. Basically gonna play it on stream a lot as well. I stream every day on Twitch. Link is gonna be down in the description below. Feel free to come and watch me live if you want. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it helped you out. And yeah, have a great day. Bye.